Among others, I saw a man sitting in the lotus position. His hair was long and of a red blonde color. He would have been 2 meters tall when standing. He had golden skin and his features were remarkably fine for a man, and he was, indeed, a man rather than a hermaphrodite. A little further away lay a woman, whose skin was coarse like that of a snake or the bark of a tree. She appeared to be young, although her strange aspect made it difficult to judge her age. Her skin was orange-colored and her short, curly hair was green. Most surprising, though, were her breasts. They were quite large, but each one had 2 nipples, separated from each other by about 10 centimeters. She would have been close to 180 centimeters in height. Her thighs were thin and muscular, and her calves quite short. On each foot were 3 enormous toes, but her hands were exactly like ours. We passed from one to another, sometimes stopping, sometimes moving on as one does among wax figures in a museum. The eyes and mouths of all these people were closed, and they all occupied one of 2 positions, either sitting in the lotus position or lying on their backs with their arms by their sides. "Where do they come from?" I whispered. "Various planets." We spent some time before the body of a man, apparently in the prime of his life. He had bright chestnut hair that was long and curly. His hands and feet were like mine. His skin was of a familiar complexion, that of someone from Earth. In height, he would have been around 180 centimeters. His face was smooth, with noble features, and there was a soft goatee on his chin. I turned to Thao, whose eyes were fixed on mine. "One would say that he came from Earth," I said. "In one sense he did, but in another, he didn't. You know him well by having heard him spoken of." Intrigued, I examined his face more closely, until, telepathically, Thao said, "Look at his hands and feet, as well as his side." Thao and Latoli brought me closer to the body, and I could clearly see scars on his feet and his wrists, one, as well as a gash, approximately 20 centimeters long, in his side. "What happened to him?" "He was crucified, Michel. This is the body of Christ of whom we spoke this morning." 1. Religious pictures and sculptures depict crucifixion by means of nailing through palms of hands to the cross. According to human anatomy, however, soft tissues between the bones in hands are not strong enough to support the weight of the body on a cross. Nails would simply slip between fingers. In contrast, nails through human wrists are wedged between bones and provide much stronger support.